20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Tech in 20. We are the broadcast that's covering topics in the world of social media, digital media, interactive media. I mean, if it's happening in the world of media and technology, folks, we are talking about it. And if you're looking for our entire archive of past audio broadcasts, look no further than techin20.com. We've done a lot of interviews. We've talked about some really great topics, controversial and otherwise, and we'd love for you to check them out. So be sure to stop on by techin20.com and let us know what you think. And as always, we are your hosts. My name is Louis Sandoval.
What are we talking about tonight? Because there's been so much stuff happening in November, and we've kind of had such a busy schedule that we've had then concurrent shows. So I'm actually curious what we're talking about tonight.
Oh, well, I think before we jump into that, I know you and I would love to welcome everybody back from, if you were in the States, a Thanksgiving holiday. If you weren't in the States, you're probably wondering what is up with all these people eating turkey and passing out, because I know I did.
No, that's very true. I hope that folks in the U.S. and even abroad had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday, regardless of what country you're in. It's the spirit of being thankful for family, friends, and the things that we have. And then, of course, the very next day is Black Friday, where we go rampaging through the stores because obviously we're not satisfied with what we have, and we need to tear through the stores and, hurt other people just to get these good deals that we absolutely can't live without. So it's kind of very much a contradiction and yet very telling of the kind of first world problems that we face. But I myself did not do any Black Friday shopping. Did you, Louis?
I actually did not do any Black Friday shopping. I am more of an online shopper, and, I was honestly kind of let down by the deals that were actually happening on Black Friday online as well as Cyber Monday. Really wasn't excited or enthused about pulling out the old card and running it through a couple of times.
Oh, there wasn't anything that really caught my eye either. I did look at a couple of deals on Cyber Monday just to see if it was something I really wanted to part with dough with. And the only thing that piqued my interest that I kind of mulled over a little bit was the $100 off of the Xbox. I thought, instead of paying $299 for an Xbox, I could pay $199. But at the end of the day, I just thought, still, enticing to me to want to buy it at this time. So there's a lot of stuff out there. Apparently, there were record sales on Friday and record sales on Monday and over the weekend. So maybe, obviously, you and I, Louis, are in the minority when it comes to that. As a matter of fact, from what I understood and what I read online, the Apple actually beat their all-time record for sales on a Black Friday by 7 p.m., meaning they're still open for several more hours. And so they had a record high this year. And I heard that from a lot of stores. I think Amazon also faced some of that stuff with their Kindle, the Kindle Fires, and all kinds of cool gadgets. And I think the Kindle Fire is going to be the hot sexy this year.
Yeah, and I think that's a perfect segue into the topic for tonight, Jennifer, because obviously people like Apple, the Amazon Fire did an amazing job. And a lot of it has to do with the amount of awareness that was created. I mean, the Kindle Fire had quite a pre-launch campaign. There was a lot of buzz about it. There was email sent out by Amazon. Apple always does a really good job of packaging its just amazing pieces of technology and putting it out there. And a lot of other companies do that as well. And, I think what's really curious is that there obviously is a fine line between what is good branding and awareness and kind of getting your message out there. And then, there's businesses and companies who really try but just don't make the mark. And I think as we talk about this tonight, Jennifer, we look at businesses, we look at nonprofits, especially this time of season where not only are businesses trying to make people aware of their products and services, but nonprofits are also trying to make people aware of their causes. And I think as we turn to digital media, as we turn to more Cyber Monday type events, or as we turn into more online donation or awareness campaigns for different causes, I think, Jennifer, you and I kind of having dabbled on both sides and experienced it and being the benefit of for many companies and other nonprofits, I think we can kind of talk a little bit about this and maybe give some insight to our listeners, whether they're business owners or they work with a nonprofit, on how they can really kind of boost that awareness so that this holiday season they can get, more bang for their probably already stretched and minimal buck.
A lot of what, and I have to tell you, Louis, you hit something right there. A lot of times I'm amazed at how little these causes and nonprofits and charities and different organizations and groups, how little attention they pay to capitalizing on things that are just right in front of them. And I have to say, I think a lot of it is just them not knowing the things that they can do. For example, they have a big, huge event, and they don't even think about recording any of that, live streaming or video or even doing audio interviews with folks who are there or capturing some of that. And they're pretty good about taking pictures. I've seen that. But, they totally leave out everything else. And I'm always like, well, is there streaming? Is there a hashtag? Is there something I can use? And they're just like, we don't even know. We don't know anything. You're speaking a foreign language, and yet just doing those simple things and using those tools could really add and enhance so much more to what they're doing. And then I'll ask them, so how did you get the word out? And they're like, well, we've got an email list, and we have a Facebook page, which is great, and we've done that. And it's like, okay, good. Well, what sites did you put it on? Did you put it on as a Facebook event? Did you create, different events? Did you use, Eventbrite? How did you sell tickets? And they just don't know. So a large part of it is just unawareness, right? And the second piece is manpower. I have to say the second thing is we kind of have heard of those things. We just don't have the staff to really do it, which is why you and I have been really good about helping folks through Social Media Club, when there's a community event or a cause or a nonprofit, and we feel like it's something that our group at Social Media Club can come in and be, quote, unquote, social media reporters for that event. We're very happy to do that as a community. We don't charge for that. It's a community, kind of a thing that we feel very passionate about and helping get the word out. And I have to say, every single time that we do a social media reporter type of event, those groups all pay attention to what we're doing, and all of a sudden I see them, at the next event or the next year that they have it, they are a little bit more savvy, and now they're kind of like embracing the use of these tools, and now it's not something that's scary or foreign because they've seen us use it. And, of course, being there, we're very happy to share with them, any just tips and tricks that we can give them while we're at the event.
And you're so right about how there's so much stuff out there, whether you're tapping into people or tapping into resources. I was watching a really interesting video on Entrepreneur Magazine, their website. It was a video that came out, I don't know, maybe a month to a month and a half ago, and it was an interview with Chris Brogan. And, a lot of us in the social space are very familiar with Chris, and, he's done a really great job in his industry and with his people, and he's definitely one of those icons, so to speak, that's really kind of leading the charge. But there was one phrase that I think spoke true for every single one of us, whether we're a business, a nonprofit, a self-starter, individual, entrepreneur, and it's that there is a lot of free before you have to pay. And I think we're so quick to find, how much can we spend to get X? And it becomes such a numbers game. We forget all the free stuff that's out there that just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, and some consistency. One of the things that just happened this past weekend was supporting local small businesses. And I think it's a great, great concept because you want to support the local and small businesses because they really are the fabric of our entire community. Businesses pop up and close every single day. But one of the problems is very few people are aware that they're even out there. while I'm a huge supporter of local and small businesses, I really kind of feel that, they really should start to get wise on what's out there. There's so much, for example, one of the things they really need to be a part of is the idea of local search. Local search is becoming such a huge, huge concept, and these small businesses that are localized can really jump into things like Places, can jump into Google and really get themselves some great local juice. The local search is going to be such a huge, huge thing as we start to develop it further down the road that there's no excuse why, if somebody is sitting down at their laptop on Google typing in whatever product or service or cause they want to support, that they don't pop up. And again, just to get listed on these local search sites, a lot of it is free, but it's just knowing where to go and doing a little bit of homework to get that free benefit. I think that the benefit financially is going to be a huge boon to them because now people know that they exist. And I think local search is just another item, another idea that I think more businesses and nonprofits really need to start to embrace, especially if they depend so much on the local community.
Louis, you bring up a really good point, local search. Okay, now for those of you who may think local search, okay, what does that mean? Sure, I want to be found locally. Of course, who doesn't want to be found locally? Let's delve a little bit deeper into that, Louis, so that we can be even more helpful. When we're talking about local search, we're of course talking about Google. You want to be able to be found locally. You think, I need to get to the top of Google, for my industry or whatever. Yeah, try and do that nationally, not as easy, but doing it locally, much easier. There's also things like Yelp. Yelp is a review site, and if you have the patrons of your place leaving, hopefully, positive reviews, Yelp is also very highly indexed on Google. There's all kinds of ways. I'll list those two, Louis. You go next.
Well, again, local search. Get yourself on Google Maps. Get yourself listed on Google Maps. I mean, make sure your location is identifiable so that if people are trying to get there, they have a way to get there. Something else that really helps your local search is encourage your patrons to leave reviews. If you search on Google, there's actually a place where you can leave reviews so that when they do searches and you come up, there's a number of stars listed by it, and hopefully you're providing a great service or a great product. And, even if you're doing work with volunteers and you want people to really talk about how great the experience is and you're a nonprofit really looking for that, that Google juice, have them leave a comment, some type of review. That really goes a long way. And, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of, online ranking per se for individuals using things like clout, but I know that it does have a level of importance. So if you are an individual who has a lot of clout, you obviously have a lot of influence. People tend to look towards you. If you're a leader of an industry, the leader of your business, really get out there and start doing some really good things so that people can hit that plus K. Or maybe they're on Google and they're going to hit that +1. All of that adds to your overall reputation. And if you're a local business or a nonprofit, that can really, really help you all out.
There you go, folks. Really, really helpful. Maps is excellent. Using, rating services or review services like Yelp, doing local Google. And one of the things that you can do is you can claim your business on Google. That's huge. Claim your business and make sure, get verified that, yes, this is your business, and yes, this is your address, and here's where you're located, and here are your hours. You post pictures, all kinds of stuff that you can do when you claim your business. So these things are, guess what, free. They're free, as Louis mentioned earlier that Chris Brogan said, there's so much free that you can benefit from. Reach out, grab it, claim it, own it, and all of a sudden you're going to see yourself rise to the top.
Yeah, and I think what's also really important, too, is that I think it's almost kind of a broken record when businesses or nonprofits hear other individuals say, you got to create more content. You got to be consistent. We all know that content creation is important, and the consistency is obviously a very vital component to that content creation. I think where people kind of fall off, Jennifer, and I think this is also something that we can really use to help our listeners, is the way you tag and the way you describe your content. So, you have a space in your blog to describe your content. That's supposedly supposed to help your SEO. Really use good quality descriptive words that are relevant to your blog post when you post it. When you post a photo or a video, whether it's on Flickr or YouTube or any other website, use good keywords to tag that photo so that it comes up in search when people are looking for it. Same thing with video. I think we so often forget that there are little things that we can do that literally take seconds. So, for example, if you snap a photo or you take a video, instead of it being, video 0000152.avi or .mov or whatever it is, take the time to really make a name for that video. Interview with social media industry leader. And don't leave any spaces and post it up. Because social media industry leader is a great keyword phrase. It might come up if people are looking for a video on social media industry leaders. Same thing with your photos. When you tag them or put descriptions in there, use those keywords that are going to make them come up when people are looking for interesting topics of conversation or looking for vital pieces of information, because I think that's where the fall off is. It's great to create the videos and the photos and the blog posts, but really knowing how to attribute the keywords and the descriptive phrases into those descriptions, hey, if you come up in search, that's a win for you. So I say take the extra few seconds to drop that in there before you post it.
Yeah, it's easy to get kind of lazy at that part of it because, like you said, Louis, you've put a lot of effort into creating the video, into coming up with it, into posting it, but then all of a sudden it gets to, because admit it, putting in all those little keywords, making sure you're doing all that, it can be a little tedious or sometimes a lot tedious, but though taking the extra time and making sure that you don't skip that step can mean the biggest difference between your video rising to the top or it kind of languishing in the middle or even towards the bottom.
Yeah, one of the things, Jennifer, that I think as a patron of many businesses, and I kind of want to now talk to all of you out there who frequent a lot of businesses that you tend to favor. We're Jennifer and I, we're not here just spinning our wheels. We really know what we're talking about. Trust us on this. Leave a comment, leave a review. The customer survey cards in-house, they're great. You can fill them out. Chances are they're going to get tossed on somebody's desk, and they probably will never be read, even if you've had a really good experience. Turn to the online world. Go to the Yelp. Go to the review sites out there for your industry. Leave a great positive comment on Facebook, whatever you can do to show that support. If you're somebody who has an idea who can help the business kind of get a leg up, you know what? Hey, you may not be getting paid the big bucks, but one of the things Jennifer and I really believe in is share a little. Give them a little insight. If you have some expertise, shed some light a little bit on what you know. Who knows? I mean, we have seen evangelists, people that really love brands, actually get hired by the companies that they just started out helping kind of willy-nilly, and all of a sudden they're like, wow, this person knows a lot, let's bring them on board. You just never know what's going to happen.
It's so true. It is so true. You might be recruited. You never know what's going to happen. If you're the raving fan, folks, hey, being a raving fan is not a bad thing. It actually can work out very, very well for you. There's nothing else. If you're a raving fan, you're doing it because you absolutely love the product, the company, the service, whatever it is, and so you're already sold. And you're just telling folks that you like it because for all the reasons that you do, and then all of a sudden you get a knock on your door or an email or a DM or some kind of inbox message, and you're being asked about an opportunity. And so it's a lot of fun to kind of have those opportunities come up. And not all of them will be paid. Some of them will be sneak peeky. Some of them will be, things in advance. And it is fun to be involved in those things. I had a recent one that I got a message from Big Red, which is a soda company here in San Antonio, and they asked if I liked Big Red. I was like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I have Big Red in my fridge right now. And they wondered if I'd be interested in trying something out that they were going to be launching pretty soon. And, of course, I said yes, and sure enough, I got a box with their latest product that's coming out. And it was a thrill to kind of try that in advance. I did an audio live taste testing and posted it up, and they retweeted it and shared it on their Twitter account. So it's kind of fun to be in those things. Now, I don't like Big Red because I thought, if I like Big Red, they're going to come and do these things. I had no idea that was going to happen. I was just So you never know when those opportunities will come up and the fun things that can occur just by being who you are.
And you know what? And I think that is a perfect example of how a business can really increase its awareness, or a nonprofit can really increase the awareness of its cause is reach out to people. Do a local search on who influential people are in the media or in social media, in some type of digital media realm, and really kind of envelop them into what you're trying to do. You may not win all the time. It may be a little rough in the beginning, especially if people don't know who you are, but you got to start somewhere. And I think this is a great segue into Thursday night's interview. We're actually going to be talking to Mando Rayo, who is the VP of Engagement at Cultural Strategies. And what he is doing right now and has been working on is up in Austin, there's a project called Airport Boulevard Project. And what he is trying to do is he is trying to capture the visions of people in a particular area to not only revitalize it, but really, really turn it around and breathe some new life into it. So we're going to talk to him about his video campaign that he's done. This project has really gotten off the ground. He's interviewed people who live on that street, work on that street. He's got roving reporters. He's got a street team. They're really putting a voice to the people who live in this particular area. And this is just one small example of the power of a group of people who are willing to put themselves out there and really make a change. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how he's bringing awareness to this particular cause, and hopefully by this interview you'll be able to kind of think about whether you're a business or a nonprofit, how you can tap into a little bit of that motivation and that inspiration to do something for yourself.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to that as well. I mean, what a neat way to see how someone is kind of looking at all the tools and seeing how deep he can go into this particular situation. And so absolutely think about how you're not going to be able to probably use all of these tools, but you could pull one or two that will fit for your cause or nonprofit or for your small business. So that's good. Really good one, Louis. Well, hey, I'm glad that we're back at full strength. I felt like we kind of got ourselves recharged. Wonder Twin powers activate.
Yeah, definitely. When our powers combine, we're definitely back in the saddle. Very excited. We're going to wrap up the end of the year strong. December's already here. 2012 is around the corner, and if all goes well and the Mayans were incorrect, hopefully we'll be around for 2013. So we're just going to keep chugging along until the last day.
Well, everybody, if you want to reach out to us, you can do it at techin20.com. As always, you can send us an email at getsocial@techin20. And, of course, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter because, hey, we're where you are. For Techin20, this has been Jennifer Navarrete.
And this has been Louis Sandoval.
Reminding you to get social. You've been listening to Techin20 with Louis Sandoval Jr. and Jennifer Navarrete. To the Moon theme music by Simon True. You can find more great music like this on the PodSafe Music Network.